Welcome to the weekly AI News on AI with Arun show. Today we are covering 30 explosive AI developments that are literally reshaping the global economy, warfare, and your everyday life. We are talking about trillion-dollar megadeals, the rise of companies with zero human employees, and an escalating AI Cold War between global superpowers. I am going to break down these complex concepts into plain English so you know exactly what is coming. Stick around for the entire video, because what we cover today will directly impact your job, your security, and your future. Let's dive right into our first major story. Our first story is all about the insane amount of money pouring into AI. OpenAI just closed the largest venture capital funding round in history, a massive $110 billion led by Thrive Capital, Microsoft, Nvidia, and SoftBank. This pushes OpenAI's valuation past $500 billion, allowing them to build massive data centers to chase artificial general intelligence. To power this, OpenAI signed a staggering $300 billion, 5-year cloud deal with Oracle. Think of this like buying the ultimate supercomputer to run agentic AI that doesn't just chat, but actually does complex tasks for you. This deal even briefly made Oracle founder Larry Ellison the richest man on Earth. Meanwhile, chipmaker Nvidia just reported a record-breaking $68.1 billion quarter. Their massive growth is fueled by sovereign AI, which is when entire countries buy their own AI infrastructure, so they don't have to rely on foreign tech. Revenue from countries like Canada, France, and Singapore tripled to over $30 billion. Moving from money to the military, AI is now officially a weapon. The US government just blacklisted the AI company Anthropic because they refused to let the Pentagon use their technology. But just hours later, OpenAI stepped in and sealed a massive deal to deploy their AI models on the Department of Defense's highly classified network. This means AI is now deeply embedded in US military strategy. We are already seeing how powerful this can be. An AI called Grok, built by xAI, accurately predicted the exact date, February 28, 2026, of a US-Israel strike on Iran just by analyzing diplomatic data. It is a scary glimpse into how AI can forecast global conflicts. Not wanting to fall behind, Russian President Vladimir Putin has officially established a presidential AI commission. This new group is tasked with integrating AI directly into Russia's national defense and economic priorities to ensure they maintain technological power and sovereignty. The tech war between the US and China is reaching a boiling point right now. American AI lab Anthropic just dropped a bombshell, accusing 3 Chinese labs, DeepSeek, Minimax, and Moonshot, of stealing their technology. They claim these labs used 24,000 fake accounts and 16 million interactions to illegally copy the brain of their Claude AI model, potentially stripping away critical safety features in the process. In retaliation against US chip export bans, China's DeepSeek is now withholding its newest AI models from American chipmakers like Nvidia. But the most shocking news from China? ByteDance, the company that owns TikTok, just released Dubao 2.0. This new AI model matches the complex reasoning power of top Western models like GPT 5.2 and Gemini 3 Pro. They achieved this despite heavy US restrictions on advanced computer chips, proving that Chinese firms have essentially closed the AI performance gap. Now let's talk about how AI is changing the workplace. We are entering the multi-agent era. Instead of one AI helping you, you now have a team of AI bots working together. Anthropic just released Claude Opus 4.6, which features a massive 1 million token memory and special plugins that allow AI agents to coordinate complex tasks in banking and human resources autonomously. OpenAI fired right back by launching Frontier, a massive new platform for businesses to build and manage these autonomous bots across their entire corporate network. But handing the keys over to AI comes with huge security risks. Employees secretly using unauthorized AI tools, called shadow AI, can accidentally leak sensitive company data. To fight this, a cybersecurity startup named Vega just raised $120 million. Their system hunts down these shadow AI threats and blocks sophisticated cyber attacks launched by autonomous bots, effectively using AI to fight AI. So what does all this automation mean for human jobs? The disruption is hitting hard right now. IBM stock just crashed 13%, its worst day in 26 years. Why? Because investors realize that new AI coding tools directly threaten IBM's core software business. In Australia, a massive logistics software company named WiseTech just announced they are cutting up to 2,000 jobs over the next 18 months. They are replacing these human workers directly with AI automation to boost efficiency. However, in some places, this AI takeover is actually saving the economy. In Japan, the population is shrinking so fast that they don't have enough human workers. A Japanese firm called Anthropic is tackling this demographic crisis by deploying autonomous AI freelancers to fill the gaps in factories and offices just to keep industrial productivity going. What if a company didn't need human employees at all? Welcome to the human-free economy. An Israeli startup named Swan just launched with $6 million in funding, and their pitch is wild. They are building a company with no employees. Everything from sales to customer support is run entirely by specialized AI agents. Even the way we build software is changing. The world's largest coding competition, the TCS Code Vita, was just won by a 21-year-old Chinese student. But he didn't manually write all the code himself. He won by expertly directing AI coding assistants to do the heavy lifting, marking a shift from manual coding to AI-orchestrated development. Behind the scenes, teaching these AI models requires massive amounts of data. That is why an Australian data firm called Appen saw its profits triple this year, driven largely by massive new generative AI training contracts from China and the US. While Western companies focus heavily on business tools, China is pushing AI directly into the hands of everyday consumers. During the Lunar New Year, massive Chinese tech giants like Tencent, Alibaba, Baidu, and ByteDance rolled out major generative AI upgrades directly inside their super apps. Instead of making people go to a separate website, they are building AI image generators, video tools, and smart shopping assistants right into the apps that hundreds of millions of people already use every single day. This strategy is brilliant because it targets everyday users, especially in less developed cities, making AI an inescapable part of daily life. By rapidly diffusing AI into everyday services, China is cementing a massive domestic advantage and could influence how the entire world interacts with consumer AI. With AI growing this powerful, who actually makes the rules? In the US, there is a massive power struggle happening right now. President Trump just signed an executive order designed to override state-level AI regulations. He created a special legal task force to challenge states that try to pass strict AI laws, and even threatened to cut off their federal funding if they restrict AI growth. The goal is to create one minimally burdensome national rulebook. But globally, the focus on rapid growth is causing alarm. At India's recent AI Impact Summit, a new declaration was signed focusing heavily on economic innovation. However, the group Reporters Without Borders heavily criticized it. They warned that the summit completely ignored the massive threat of AI disinformation, arguing that ignoring the public's right to reliable information puts global democracy at serious risk. Let's look at the Global South, where AI presents both massive opportunities and severe risks. The African Development Bank and the UNDP just launched an incredible $10 billion AI initiative. Their goal is to use responsible AI adoption to create 40 million new jobs and add $1 trillion to Africa's economy by 2035, focusing heavily on training youth and women. But there is a massive hurdle we call algorithmic bias. Advanced AI weather forecasting models like GraphCast are currently failing miserably in Africa. Why? Because the AI lacks historical, local African weather data. Since many African economies rely heavily on agriculture and rainfall, these inaccurate AI forecasts actively hinder sustainable development. It proves that if AI data is not globally inclusive, the benefits of AI will remain heavily skewed toward the West. To make these advanced AI systems work seamlessly around the world, our internet infrastructure has to evolve. Nvidia just teamed up with global telecom giants like T-Mobile, Nokia, and Ericsson to build the foundation for 6G networks. They are committing to an AI-native open platform by 2030, meaning the network itself will use AI to ensure ultra-fast, secure, and real-time connectivity for things like healthcare and transportation. And we are already seeing how connected data saves lives. The DSI Africa initiative has successfully expanded its AI health data network across 22 African countries. By securely sharing medical data and using machine learning tools, they are drastically improving how these nations manage infectious diseases and prepare for future pandemics. It is a perfect example of how AI can narrow global health disparities. Speaking of health, AI is completely transforming hospitals and medical research. Across the US, doctors are giving high marks to the rapid rollout of AI documentation tools. Instead of a doctor spending hours typing up notes after your visit, an AI securely listens to the encounter and instantly generates a structured medical chart. This is massively reducing doctor burnout and improving visit efficiency. But the most mind-blowing medical news comes from the lab. Researchers at Mass General Brigham just used AI to achieve a breakthrough in de novo protein design. This means the AI invented entirely new, synthetic enzymes that do not exist in nature. These custom proteins can be programmed to do incredible things, like breaking down plastic waste or hunting down previously undruggable cancer cells, paving the way for precision therapies. But we have to be extremely careful. Medical AI is far from perfect. A new study from Mount Sinai exposed dangerous blind spots in the popular consumer tool, ChatGPT Health. The study found that while the AI gives decent general advice, it frequently misses critical red flag symptoms and dangerously underestimates how urgently certain patients need emergency care. Because the stakes are literally life and death, new safeguards are being rushed into place. Medical experts just issued the Sydney Declaration, which establishes strict legal and ethical rules for using AI in brain surgery and brain-computer interfaces. At the same time, the Bipartisan Policy Center just released comprehensive federal guidelines to HHS to stop algorithmic bias in clinical care, ensuring that AI doesn't accidentally discriminate against patients when making real-time hospital decisions. So what is the big takeaway from all these massive updates? We've officially moved past the phase of fun AI chatbots. March 2026 marks the era of trillion-dollar infrastructure deals, autonomous human-free businesses, and a high-stakes AI arms race between global superpowers. The technology is moving so incredibly fast that it is simultaneously replacing human jobs, predicting military strikes, and inventing new medical treatments. If you want to survive and thrive in this new autonomous economy, you absolutely must stay informed. If you found this breakdown valuable, smash that like button, subscribe to the AI with Arun show so you don't miss our next deep dive, and drop a comment below. Would you ever work for a company run entirely by AI? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.